What's up, everybody? We are live. The Knicks have just lost a game, and I have a smile on my face because I'm just so excited to be here on the Knicks Film School YouTube streaming post game, getting to hang out and chat with everyone, break down the action. I got a smile on my face. I got to say that win. I can't be too frustrated. D Rose hasn't practiced with this team yet, so I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, the second unit looked that good. The second unit looked that good with no practice. They got the ball moving. They're shooting. I'm happy, man. That game, the ending was ridiculously frustrating. That I'm sitting here like I got look at this comically large stress ball. I'm sitting here with my stress ball, just like destroying this thing, watching the end of this game. Man, that's a frustrating ending, but I'm not. I can't. I don't have it in me to be too upset. We have so many games left in this season, and we're showing signs, man. Dennis Smith Jr. and a second rounder for Derrick Rose. I was a little hesitant before we knew the return. But after finding out the return, after finding out, what we gave up, I was on board. And I think this game did a good job just, in the couple minutes that we did see D Rose on the court in showing why. The Knicks have a lot of stretches where they just can't score points. And that's what I think he can help with. So there's my quick piece on the D Rose trade before we get into the game tonight. But man, let's frustrating matchup. We didn't look bad overall as a team against Miami. Randall, it's a tough night. Randall didn't have the greatest game, and he still looks like a good player out there. It's tough. I don't think Randall looked the worst tonight. The officiating, Sheldon in the comments, the officiating was weak. Shoot the refs into the sun. Yeah, man, these refs were interesting throughout the game. I don't think they, terribly called the game. Yeah, it wasn't wrong calls every single play, obviously, but more mistakes than you'd like to see from an official crew. Mitch Robinson tonight, 7 rebounds, 2 points, 2 assists. Good defensive work from him. I'm not too concerned with the box score stats with Mitch. Mitch killed it on defense tonight. Man, Tom Piccolo put out a video detailing a play. Mitch just did a great job. And it's tough because we're sitting here after a loss, and it's tough to sit and try to think of positives after such a frustrating loss. But that's how I see it too. I see it, in a season like this where I don't think we have the talent to be going out and beating every team out there. You're looking for signs. You're looking for signs from your guys. And, for me, if we get a great defensive game from Mitch, RJ had some struggles tonight, but still had some great plays. And he had 2 assists, 6 rebounds. That's RJ gets his boards. And he's still getting to the rim. RJ, I mean, that play on Hero, RJ just does a great job getting to the basket. It's now time to really focus on how he does once he's there. But if you're trying to look at positives, there were a bunch. This game was littered with positives from the young guys. RJ, even Obi. Let's talk about Obi real quick. I was pretty well known as not at all liking Obi Toppin going into this draft. And I'm not really upset at this point with the fact that we have him, except for the fact that we keep using him incorrectly. And I know it's tough to use him correctly this year when he can't protect the rim. But man, we need to get him involved in better ways. I want to see him rolling to the rim more. I want him getting the ball more down low. Rose seems to, be willing to help with that a little more than Rivers was. And that was the reason I was excited for the Rose acquisition as well. But I'd like to see Obi get involved more. let's get to quickly tonight. Using him as a movement shooter off the ball, cool. That's cool. That's a great way to use him off ball. If you're gonna have Derrick Rose handling the ball, let Quickly show his stuff as a shooter. I'd still like to see. I know it's the first game of having both Quickly and Rose, so I'm absolutely, not freaking out, willing to give them time to figure this out, etc. But I'd like to see Quickly get some more on ball reps. He kind of does just, people say spam pick and roll, just pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. Yeah, but like, okay, it works. He can either crab dribble and get a floater or find someone like Obi for a lob. Um, I think, they, like, as already just said in the chat, great point. Again, they haven't practiced together, so I'm not freaking out after a game like this tonight. Just because, I know it's weird. I know it's weird to come on here after a really frustrating loss and see me smiling, but I can't be too frustrated. We lost to a team, regardless of Miami's record, they had Jimmy out. They have Jimmy back now. Their talent level is much higher than ours. It makes sense to me that we lost the first game based on how it went. I thought they'd be able to come back and win tonight, but didn't have it in them. It's still, though, again, not to bang this drum too much, they didn't practice with D Rose. That whole second unit looked great, and they haven't even, that was with Tibbs's emergency short list of plays that Derek remembers from back in Minnesota and Chicago. I'm excited about how this game went overall for the young guys. Obviously, as a team, this was a frustrating loss, but in terms of how we're developing RJ, how we're developing Mitch, Obi, IQ, we're trying to raise these kids in a healthy household. We're trying to create a winning environment for these players to be a real part of, and for them to develop as part of. I'm excited about the young guys. I want to get into. Oh, perfect timing. Has Mike Breen trademark bang? I don't know. Hey, perfect timing, Colin. So Colin says, "Hey, Chris, would be curious to hear you talk about things they did poorly. Enough with glass half full." I get you, because, man, we are sitting here after a loss, and I do try to think this season, or I try to think about what we can take away from a season-long perspective from each game. So I always try to start with the young guys. Let's talk about the team, though. Let's talk about the team. Miami they just out. I don't even know how to say this. They just out basketballed us. Is that how to put it? Jimmy just got every call in the book. They played a veteran game. They have shooters. They ran them off screens, as we're just starting to explore with IQ, and we're looking for, more shooters on the team in general. But Miami has shooters for days. They have Hero, they have Robinson, and they did a great job of using those guys. If just taking a look here at the man, I was just reminded of Kelly Olynyk. I was just reminded of Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk, what upsets me most was not the original makes. The fact that he made so many shots and kept getting left open, kept being allowed to take shots, our adjustment there to that offense was not great. Hero killed us. I'm not a huge Tyler Hero fan personally, but man, after tonight, not a lot for me. Not a lot for me to make fun of him about. I mean, RJ did score over him pretty handily, but Butler, Hero, Adebayo, these guys just all put clinics on us in terms of playing their roles for Miami. Like Miami does a good job of having their heat culture and having everyone buy in. and having everyone, play their role. You have Hero and Robinson with some of the wettest jumpers. Butler doing his job as an initiator. Adebayo, great work on defense. And I did bring it up. Mitchell Robinson was great on defense tonight. But Bam's looking like an all NBA caliber guy. And to stop that much talent is going to be tough for any team. For a team going out there with what we've got, it's definitely going to be tough. However, I'm not trying to say that Miami is a team that we can is not possible for the Knicks to beat. The Knicks have their system. They stick to it. They play slow. We know this. The game tonight was a little slower pace, than your average NBA game. The Knicks play this way. It was Macri himself who said Tibbs comes to every poker game, just trying to wait until his opponents get too tired to keep going on. I'm just frustrated. I'm sitting here just processing this loss, and it's tough. They had people are saying the Heat have been bad this year. Yeah, but Jimmy Butler missed a lot of games. I know they're not a top seed. I know they're not. I know they're not exactly record-wise an incredible team right now, but they just got Jimmy Butler back, and I don't see them coming close to the finals again this year, and that was my take preseason as well. But I didn't see them being a bad team, and I don't think they're a bad team. So the Miami Heat have been dealing with a lot of injuries, and I'm pretty sure they've had players dealing with coronavirus complications as well. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think the Heat have been at full strength for the most of this season. So I'm not sure their record is entirely representative of how good they actually are. I want to get through some comments now and see what you guys have to say. I love chatting with everyone, and I don't know. Something's weird to me about me just talking a lot. I got to hear what people have to say, because this is the best part to me about being a Knicks fan, is the community aspect. So except for watching RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly go off, nothing's better in life than that. Miami looked like a vet team against us, not this season though. Yeah, so Miami's had some struggles this year. That's from the late great bricklayer. Miami's definitely had some struggles this year, but they've got their players back, and they're playing like a good basketball team. They did today, and the fact that we put up the game, I don't want to keep giving us credit for losing a basketball game. I'm thinking about the goal of this season. The goal of this whole year is just, I didn't think we were making the playoffs. I'm looking for competence. I'm looking for consistent competence, and I'm not going to say, well, you would have signed for 11 and 15, before the season started, because that doesn't change the fact that we just really frustratingly lost this game right now. We very easily could have been 12 and 14 had we stepped it up this game. Alfred Payton, too many defensive blunders for my liking. He had 18 points tonight, which makes it sound like he had a good game. And I don't think Alfred played terribly today. But the defensive effort was a little inconsistent. Not a little, a lot. It was very inconsistent. Heat looked like the Heat tonight. Yeah, Alex, that's how it goes. The Tibbs should have won this game on a back-to-back. I get that. Tibbs does well on these back-to-backs. The matinees is where he kills it. They were hit hard by COVID. They'll be fine. Top 5 team in the East. Sure, already. I don't know if they can catch up wins-wise, but definitely it's sounding like they were hit by COVID. Makes sense about Miami. No Taj. Colin, Taj Hive. Taj Hive was hurting tonight. Nerlens Noel has been playing quite well on defense recently, though. He's still what object? Let's do this again. I had a calculator last time. What am I going with this time? Notebook. Nerlens Noel seems to have comically small notebooks for hands, which is why he struggles to catch passes. That's really frustrating to watch every time. But man, on defense, as he looked good, he's blocking shots and he's getting guys away from the rim. So can't be too upset overall with Nerlens' play this year. I would have liked just one Taj minute, just for fun. just put D Rose and Taj out there just for a couple seconds, just to reminisce. Just you know, I one of the first rivals that I really had as a Knicks fan was the Thibodeau Bulls. Um, I started watching this team in 2010, 2011, 2012 seasons, and the Tibbs coach Bulls were actually the first Knicks game I ever attended in person. 2014 matchup between Carmelo and the Knicks and D Rose, Tibbs, and the Bulls. So having Tibbs, D Rose, and Taj Gibson on this team is certainly interesting for me as a fan. I love all three of them. Don't think any of the three are the best at what they do out of the whole league, but Tibbs, Taj, and D Rose, man, love all three. Bobby C is definitely hyped about D Rose. Evan, what's up, man? I haven't even talked to Bobby too much about D Rose yet. But I know he's got to be hyped. Bobby, man, if you're watching, shout out WFUV Sports. Let's go Rams. Do you think Elf gets moved before the deadline? This is a tough one. A couple games ago, Tibbs sat Rivers the whole second half, and it was noticeable. He then went out and traded for, or had his president trade for a guard to replace Rivers in the rotation. You would think that if there was indeed contender interest in Rivers as reported, that Rivers would be on his way out before Peyton. Tibbs does. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Tibbs stands there, on the sideline and watches Alfred play and is like, yes, this is the prime point guard I always wanted. Alfred Payton, we're here. Like, I don't think that's what's going on. I don't think Tom Thibodeau is ecstatic watching Alfred play. I really think that he thinks that that's his best option. And while we certainly do not agree with him, that's where we are. So Alfred's continuing to start, and I don't know if I can say that I think Elf will get moved before the deadline. My best bet would be Rivers, just because, I mean, the signs are showing themselves. Out of the rotation to benched for a half, to out of the rotation to having a replacement traded for. There's kind of a next logical step that I think we might see the Knicks take. I just want a moment where RJ rips the team's heart out just once. Soon. We're gonna get there soon. I gotta get there soon. RJ Barrett, man. Do I give me a second here, guys. Hold on. Sorry. I gotta Here we go. I had to bring this out. I love this kid so much. I'm just gonna put a nice big smile next to his jersey. I love this kid so much. I love watching RJ Barrett. Can I hang this up? Somewhere? Is there somewhere that I can? RJ's going to get there at some point. I've been saying it over and over again. RJ Barrett will be fine. And then he went on after I said that, and he missed approximately 312,000 straight three-pointers, which made it a little tougher to say RJ will be fine. But we're still here. RJ will be fine. He's showing more and more improvement. And I really think, again, just to address the recent trade, I don't know if Derrick Rose is the worst guy for RJ to learn from what it's like to be a young player in a Tibbs system trying to make a name for yourself in the league. I love having D Rose as a mentor for our guys, man. I love it. Swiss cheese defense. Jasper, what's up, Jasper? All the way from Australia. Nice to see you in the chat, man. Shout out the IG chat. The defense tonight was, and it's tough because I can't call it Swiss cheese defense because Mitch was really good inside. Mitch was really good on the inside, and I can't sit here and say in good faith that the Knicks played Swiss cheese defense tonight. But the effort was lacking overall. I think I want to see a better fight, a tougher fight out of our guys next game for sure. I want to see them come out pissed that they lost both games. But these last two games, I need anger. Let's see, what else have you guys got to say? I'm sorry, it's hard to blame this loss on our leading scorer for the game. Yeah, I can't. I'm you know I, I'm not saying everything's Alfred's fault. I'm not saying everything is. It's just um, you know how it is when there's a loss. That the pointers get the fingers get pointed fast, and Alfred's always just going to be one of those guys that catches a lot of flack because it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see. RJ is not a closer. Clearly, ah, man, this is tough because I don't know if I can agree with that or disagree with that this early into his career. Um, I'm just not sure. I really do think that RJ Barrett might have the potential one day to be able to hit pull up jumpers and close games. He's clearly not there yet. I'm not worried about it. I'm not sitting here worried about it. RJ Barrett's going to be fine. I'll say it again. Guys need to be rewarded when making good cuts for sure. Great point, Lockie. And cutting is I mean, you watch some of the best teams in basketball. Miami, maybe not being one of the best teams in basketball this year, but Miami is a team that does a lot of cutting. Um, a lot of smart teams do a lot of cutting. It's just a great way to create offense, to create points with natural player movement. Guys like RJ Barrett, particularly, are quite good at cutting. So I agree with you. I would like to see cutters rewarded better. To touch on Rose and Toppin again, I think we're already seeing Rose find Obi. I forget who tweeted it. I think it was Tommy Beer. Might have been Tommy Beer. What's up, Tommy? Who said that Rose has already found Toppin more times than Rivers did, and that that's the way it looked. I'm excited to see this second unit offense. I just keep thinking about it, man. I'm excited, but I agree with you. Cutters should be rewarded better. We need to get better in situational basketball. It was sloppy at the end, but we still had a chance. Comment from Ben Delgado. Agreed, Ben. It looks like we get to a point at the end of games where there's no script to follow. It's like you have to be reactive and proactive, and it's crunch time, and you've just got to be on top of your game and ready for anything. And it's tough to see us go out there and look like we're slow on offense, look like we're not getting things moving, look like things are slowing down, getting the balls getting stuck. I get what you mean. I think practice with D Rose, who might even end up closing games. I'm not sure. But IQ, D Rose, RJ, Randall, Mitch, that'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun. That's all I got to say. That'd be kind of fun. RJ's move on Hero down the stretch was silky, TBH. John K. would absolutely agree. That deserved the win right there. It was gorgeous. Thoughts on Obi at the 5? Jay Knees, what's up? Obi at the 5 is absolutely something that I want to try next year. Next year, put IQ at the 1 off the bench and Obi at the 5, and let them rock. If we re-sign Rose, IQ, Obi off the bench, let them, whatever. I think I want to see him have the rest of this season just learning how to fit in an NBA offense. He's already doing a great job. His passing has looked great. He's looking like he knows where to be on the court. And even on the defensive end, he looks like he knows where guys are going to be. Obi's a smart basketball player, guys. I do think that when you have Obi at the 5, you create a lot of problems for yourself defensively, just as you create a lot of solutions for yourself offensively. Having Obi in the dunker spot there, I can't sign on to Obi at the 5 this year because I think we're going to get fried defensively, and Tibbs just cares too much about his defense. So if our motto this year was throw the young guys out there and see what they can do, I'd want Obi at the 5 starting from game 1. I'd want to see him every game getting reps at the 5. But Tibbs has a vision for how we're going to bring these guys along. It seems to involve patience and attempting to win regardless of who that is. And that's the vision we're going to be dealing with regardless of whether you like it or not. I personally think letting the young guys rock would be a better way to go. And you can still try to win games while doing it. But listen, Tibbs does what he does, and I'm also I'm not gonna be too upset just because, even if I wouldn't do it that way, I'm happy overall with the results. I'll still point out my criticisms, especially when Frank Ntilikina related and or appropriate. But I'm happy overall with where we are. Let's see what else. Let's get through a couple more comments before we wrap up here. Again, it's been a pleasure to chat with all you guys. It's been so much fun to go live, man. This has been great. Let's see what you guys have to say. Last couple comments. I agree. Obi needs to learn to guard 5. Yeah, Obi at the 5, I think, is a good long-term strategy because of his offensive potential there. Give us some trade deadline predictions. Okay. Prediction number 1. This is not a bold prediction, but a prediction. The Knicks will exit the deadline with more draft capital than they have right now. That's prediction number 1. Prediction number 2 is that I mean, I already said I think Rivers might be the guy who gets moved just because of the combination of interest from other teams and interest from us in moving him. I think we'd be interested in moving Alfred for an upgrade. I don't think Tibbs watches Alfred and loves him. However, I also don't think that there's an NBA team out there begging at the doorstep of Madison Square Garden for Alfred Payton in exchange for a better player. So Rivers getting traded would be my second prediction there. Who in the league could you see playing the 4 with Obi playing center? Ooh, Evan, that's a great question. Let me think. What 4s in the league? I mean, I'm tempted to say, this is tough. 4s that can give you rim protection, because if you just let Obi be the weak side rim protector, you're chilling if he's at the 5. But who can? Man, I'm thinking Jeremy Grant would probably provide an interesting fit, but I don't know about his ability to fully guard the rim. Prime DeAndre Hunter. And let me think. I'm really just thinking about power forwards that can guard the rim. If you're a power forward that is athletic and can protect the rim, someone he's hurt this year, so I didn't think of him. But another great example, I think, would be Jonathan Isaac, of someone who could figure out a fit with Obi at the 4 and 5. PJ Tucker, great. Josh B, and that's a good one. PJ Tucker certainly can help Obi Toppin. You would not be worrying too much about. Well, if you have Obi and PJ at the 5 and 4, I assume you have a good amount of talent at the 1 through 3. But I digress. Great question, Evan. Let's get one more comment in, and then we'll wrap up. What feel like the Knicks can go. Let's talk about the coming games. This is a good comment. Tim Kim. Feel like the Knicks can go 8-2 with the next 10 games coming up. Looks like pretty easy wins. I don't know about 8-2. 8-2 might be a bold prediction, but something like 6-4 or 5-5 or 7-3 even might not be ridiculous. We're about to see these guys, I think, adjust to a new rotation. So forget the Rose trade. Assuming another trade happens before the deadline, then we'll see them adjust to that rotation. And after that, I think we can really start rolling. We're going to have our guys in their roles and in place to succeed. Thibodeau comes to every game as prepared as possible. I'm excited to see us learn how to play basketball together, right? I mean, we have a group of guys that we like, between RJ, Mitch, IQ, Obi, D Rose for some of us, Peyton for few of us, Noel. We got a cool group of guys. I like watching this team. I like rooting for this Knicks squad. I really hope we can make the play-in tournament this year, if not even the playoffs. That's super wishful thinking, though. Don't want to be looking through glasses that are tinted too orange and blue. But just for the next couple games, looking for some more cohesion, which will come with practice, and looking for the ball to keep moving, looking for a shakeup in the starting lineup at some point, just because I want IQ starting. I do. I can't lie. I want IQ starting so badly. So badly. Even if we start Rose and then let IQ finish games, I'd love that'd be great too. That'd be great too. I'm fine with that. Just hashtag not elf. Listen, everybody, it has been my absolute pleasure to hang out with all you guys post game. It was a tough loss and a frustrating loss, but again, I think a good amount of positives that we can take from a game like this, even if the outcome wasn't the most fun. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. Stay safe. Let's go Knicks, and keep supporting KFS. Hope to see you guys around on the KFS channel or on Twitter. You can follow me at Chris Persiainen on Twitter, and I go live at every halftime of every Knick game. So if you enjoy Macri's post game streams and think that you would enjoy something maybe similar or something that hopes to be similar at halftime, you can always stop by my Twitter page and hang out at halftime to break down the Knicks first half. Every game, every single game, we're there. Thank you guys again. Stay safe, and let's go Knicks.